Hey Capricorn, welcome to your weekly reading. This is posted from 8 till 14 June 2020 with me, Adrian H of Asian Great Life. And we're kind of looking and see what's coming up for you next. So what's gonna, what is going up next with your, your journey of life. So last week we spoke about twin flame love, and so this week we're looking to see for, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Ascending. What's happening next in the journey for you? Where you're going? What are the direct messages that the universe wants you to know? Right. I've got this card that I feel here at the bottom, so I'm going to take that one for you. And of course, if it's your first time to the channel, then I welcome you. And if you're coming back, then welcome back. Okay. You're more than welcome to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to do so. I've got a reading coming out for you every week, and I also do personal detailed readings, $12 for $12 US for a 30 minutes downloadable reading that I send to you. Yeah, okay. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. Links are down below. Let's get started. Alrighty. So first card out for you today, Capricorn, or for this week. And of course, it's a general reading, so whatever's for you, it's for you, and whatever's not for you, release it with peace, let it go. Okay? Keep it simple. Alrighty. So, sometimes we worry about so many things and we try to get all the details right. Just the best way to do it. But sometimes the best thing that we can do is to actually go into this complete space of surrender. What I call letting God be God. All right. And when I say God, obviously speaking about whichever source you prefer to name that can't be named by. I actually call it source of all. So it says old souls, and this is a message from the universe for you. Old souls use words very sparingly, except of course for I, love, thank you, wow, now, and cool. So wow, I love you now, P.S. which sounds much better than wow, now, I love you. Sequence is sort of important, okay? And so yeah, there's a divine plan at hand. I've got some of my cats here on my face. Love comes in all beautiful ways. Souls come in all beautiful ways to assist us as we go through an experience of life, if we let it. All right. I never thought when I was moving back to Cape Town from Johannesburg about a year ago that I would be blessed with a beautiful cat. I mean, I've never really been too much of a cat person in my life, and suddenly here's this beautiful earth angel that makes me smile so many times and completely runs my life. And so blessings can come in many, many ways. All right. If we open to it, then so many times you will find the blessing coming into your experience of life long before you even know that you need it. All right. So here I am, can't go out at the moment because of the regulations with the lockdown, but we've got this beautiful animal that's all around, and so sometimes we have to stop and we have to ask ourselves, if we look back, or we just take an objective sort of look of our lives, what are the blessings that we have that are already there, that is working beautifully? And you see how those blessings came about in your life. Maybe you found, I don't know, a blender on special, and now you decide you maybe want to do like a body detox or something like that because you can't go and do all the exercise and the things that you normally want to do. And at the time you probably thought, no, I don't really need it, who knows? And now you happen to have your beautiful expensive blender that you had fall on the floor, the jug cracked or whatever, and now this cheapie that you thought you didn't need came in handy because you just kind of followed your gut and you bought it. So life can really work in those beautiful sort of ways, and if we just flow with it, then it can actually bless us in amazing ways. Stepping into power, you are strong beyond measure. Okay, you are strong beyond measure. You are strong in ways that are amazing, that are so beautiful. And for many of you, I feel that for some of you, actually for a number of you, I feel that it's almost as if you have been winging it sort of through your life, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you've been doing bad. And even from the outside, some people might have been looking at your life and they've been saying, you're doing really, really well, But inside, there was sort of like a hunger for more, okay? And you are stepping into that more. And sometimes the more we try to actually get to where we want to be, the more time you put into it, the more energy we put into it, the more work we put into it, the more money we put into it, because we want to reach where we want to be, and there's nothing obviously wrong with doing the foundational work. But sometimes when we put so much into what we want to have, the frustration can sort of creep in, because it's the motivation behind the actions that actually brings the manifestation about. All right, so it's very important to pay attention to that motivation behind the actions, because that is the language that the universe understands, picks up, and reacts to. All right, so a lot of what you've done, it's coming back in beautiful ways. You're stepping into that power, into that strength, and you're stepping into it. Really for the main reason that most of you were like, oh, whatever, it's not going to happen. And that's when you actually went into that surrender space. There's a belief, I know, quite a mainstream sort of belief, that you have to always enter the space of light, and you always have to enter the space of complete love, in order for your manifestations to come true. Now, it is true that if you are able to step into that source of light, you really do step into your power, and things can come to you quite easily, quite effortlessly. But by the thoughts that we have, we put the rockets of desire out there for what it is that we want to have. And sometimes the reason why a lot of things in our life only come about on what we would call the 11th hour is because we go like, whatever. I'm out of here. I don't care anymore. I'm done with this. And because you are done with it, that greater part of you can actually start coming in, because now you're technically getting out of your own way. Okay. Tanzanite, clarity. Tanzanite is one of my favorite stones. For those of you that might not know, it is a diamond. It's got a beautiful blue shine. It looks almost like sapphire, but a little bit lighter. It comes from Tanzania in Africa, and it's very, very rare. It's got an incredible manifestation quality about it. Okay, whatever it really is that you want to have. If you happen to have clear quartz at your house, that is the crystal that looks like clear glass. If you happen to have a diamond, be it on a necklace, be it in a ring, doesn't really matter how. Clear quartz is a crystal of all possibilities. So it can actually be programmed to do what it is that you want to do. So you will physically hold it and say you'd like to deprogram it from whatever was programmed in it before. Lay it in something like the sun so it can recharge. Of course, be safe that you don't lose your precious, parts. But the same thing can be done with the diamond. So the energy of clear quartz is quite amazing. That is why a lot of times when people do like what we would call like a crystal ball reading, what it really does is connects you to that energy of all possibilities. So it just helps you to channel better. A diamond does the same thing, even more so, and a tanzanite is like, wow. Okay, so for many of you, you are getting such clarity on which parts to follow. That is why we don't have to put so much into it. For example, when you take something, and I want you to think of your life in this context, okay? When you have a crystal ball, so like you've got like this big round crystal ball that, like psychic mediums such as myself like to use. I don't have one. I would love to have one. But what you do is you really sort of clear your mind, and all the energy is able to go in all sort of different directions, okay? And then by literally keeping it simple, by having no sort of expectation, that is how you go into that space where you keep it very, very simple, no expectation. You tap into everything by literally getting out of the way, and then you get clarity about everything. And that is obviously how you then give all the clarity across to your client. All right. And bone collector. I feel that for many of you, bone collector is about all that sort of ancestral energy, that all parts of who you are, okay, all coming together into your experience of life now. Powerful awakenings taking place at the moment. I can literally, around me, it's like I can feel this bright light that is just like shining up. So many of you are just lighting up, and I was wondering, why am I explaining to you how a crystal ball works? But I get it. It's that for so many of you, there's such a kind of bringing it back to basics, to base. All right, so many of you are really unfolding in spiritual ways, in incredible ways, and do not be scared to tap into your power. All right, don't be scared to tap into your power. Speak to the universe if you feel a little bit nervous, if you feel that you maybe, you know, wanna you don't just want to go ahead and do stuff. You want to have a bit more support, that sort of stuff. Speak to the universe. Not feeling safe, all these type of things. Speak to the universe, all right? But you are opening. This is the thing about spiritual awakening that a lot of times we sort of misunderstand. Is that you are not really, you know, a lot of times there's fear around it. But it's really you aligning with a much greater part of you, all right? It's not some foreign object that you're connecting with. You are connecting to the greater parts of yourself. Okay. All right, so let's clarify this, keeping it simple. Let's see what we've got here for you. Let's see what we've got for you. All right. It must be love, oh, it must be love, and it feels like love, and it talks like love in the middle of the night. Make me feel alright, na na na. 7 of Wands, the Hermit, and the Lovers. Alright. So many of you, especially when it comes to love, and I feel that some of you might be an Earth sign, okay? Fellow Earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. But some of you also have some beef there with Gemini. Somehow Gemini energy is in the mix. It could also be with your other person. It could be you, but it could be your other person. Maybe even if they're not a Gemini, it's Gemini in their chart. And I feel that for many of you, there may have been very conflicting sort of emotions taking place, very contrived. In many ways, many of you are realizing that a lot of the fighting that you've been doing, you may have been fighting with other people, you know, physically, confrontational, like fighting with other people. But it's many of you are realizing that the fights that you had, so to speak, were really with yourself, okay? And so many of you there with the Hermit, you moved away from that space. You moved away from that fighting space. You got to see a lot of... you got to see a lot of the reasons why many things have taken place, why many things were the way that they were. And I feel that many of you have, you know, sort of met with people and places, but maybe people specifically who may have been a little bit different by you, could be a Gemini involved, and you sort of like their very bubbly sort of energy and personality. But, sorry, I feel that many of you are realizing what the reason was for that connection, and it wasn't specifically for a love connection probably with them, but it was a lesson that you needed to learn for the love connection that you're going towards. All right. Let's see. You are strong beyond measure, stepping into power. Letting go of a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas and a lot of beliefs and even ideals that, you know, once you may have thought were very important to you, letting go of a lot of those things because you're realizing that they're not really determining you anymore, and they may not have done so for a while. So it clarifies there Four of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the Devil. Okay. So you're meeting your person. So for some of you, it might be, you know, the Gemini. There might also be like a third party involved. But for some of you, you're also getting the lesson. You're getting the reason behind some of the disappointments that you have had before, especially in love. You may be getting to see how you might have sort of had the wrong end of the stick. Okay? And how in some ways you may have let friendships go, people go, you know, that you maybe realize that you may have been just a little bit rash there, okay? Maybe had a bit of hurt inside. And also it could be that those people, I feel that for many of you, those people sort of brought the hurt that you had to the surface, and you're realizing now that it may not have been them specifically, but it's just that they sort of highlighted um, a discomforting feeling inside that has been there. And in that way, sometimes the people that teaches us the most difficult lessons in this world, um, they come in the forms of very good friends, people that we think will be in our lives forever. Maybe somebody that you'd like to be with romantically, or somebody that you are with, and then those people do something that really make you feel very almost sort of betrayed inside. But sometimes those lessons are very necessary for you to see, especially how to get out of your own way, so that you can, in a very um, uh, beneficial way to you, move forward. Okay. See, getting some clarity there. Getting some clarity there. Let's see what we've got. That's some definite clarity there on a very specific situation. I feel many of you want clarity on a very specific situation. Nine of Cups, King of Pentacles, and Ace or Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel that for many of you, you may have teamed up with somebody, and in the team you thought that maybe you all can do something together. Maybe you saw them as a solution for some of the concerns that you may have had. And even though the idea may have seemed very great at the beginning, I feel that many of you, look at this card that's coming out right there. I was just going to speak about this now, the Temperance card. For many of you, you realize that it might be better for you to go with things on your own for now. So who are you really? What serves you best really? Okay, let's just have another look at this this possible romantic connection that was happening here. I just want to have a look at that. Okay, so it might have felt that the person was right, but the timing wasn't right. So sometimes life will do that as well to get you ready for your actual twin flame. And you may want to take a look at last week's twin flame reading. Sometimes you get that somebody comes around. As I said, sometimes people teach us the most difficult lessons, and it's the ones that we think are not going to teach us the lessons. So I feel that you may have had a connection with someone that felt very, very real. This could be a romantic partner. It could also be a friend. It could also even be with a family member. And so somehow you really felt very sort of disappointed, let down by somebody that you may have least expected it from. But if you can, within the moment or where you are, and some of you might have done this already, because I feel like you're really stepping into the powerful sense now. So you might have done that already, though. You stopped and asked yourself, what was the lesson here? What could I learn from here? What did the situation highlight to me about myself? And in that way, you really came in many ways to this powerful point, which is, it's almost like your soul plan is finally lining up again. Okay? There we go. Two of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Page of Cups. Many of you are sort of becoming your own best plan, and look at what we're having at the bottom, the Fool, whole new journey. Okay, many of you are becoming your own, there we go, balance, knowing who you are, Justice card. This is a time for you to really, where you can literally ask, what is it that you want to have, and whatever sort of wish you put out there. Now this comes as good news, but it also comes with a bit of a warning. Okay, whatever you place your mind sort of on out there right now, it will almost rush to you. Okay, so be sure that what you place your thoughts on is what you really want, because whatever you place your thoughts on right now will rush to you just like that. This is an instant manifestation period for you. Okay, thank you, my beautiful Cappies, for your time, energy, love, and light. Remember, you're more than welcome to subscribe to the channel. I've got a reading coming out for you every week. If you want to have a more detailed reading, you can order one from me. The details are down below. 30 minutes reading, downloadable. You get to keep it for $12 US. And yeah, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. I'll see you next week.